you should have your head examined? Well, I want to share this with you. This is an amazing story. This is a true story. This happened about 50 years ago in Columbus, Ohio. There was a group of researchers there, and these researchers knew they were, at least they were 95% sure that they knew what caused hardening of the arteries. So they wanted to be 100% sure. So what they did was they took a large group of rabbits and they fed these rabbits the kind of a diet that you could get at any Wendy's or McDonald's or Burger King, a high-fat, high-sugar diet. And after these animals were on the diet for about 3 weeks, they sacrificed the rabbits. You know what that means? They tear the rabbits apart and they look at their arteries. And they found out that all the rabbits had hardening of the arteries except one small group. That threw these researchers, that small group of rabbits, threw these researchers into chaotic confusion. They couldn't understand it. So they did what researchers do when they have money. They ran the test all over again. And it came out the same way. They couldn't figure it out. So they figured, we'll run the test over again since we still have money. And it came out the same way. 3 times running, it came out the same way. There was always a small batch of rabbits that were spared this disease. So they tried to find out the variable here. What was it? And they found that there was a young girl who was in charge of these rabbits, and she loved rabbits. So before she fed the rabbits, she'd take them out of the cage, and she'd hold them, talk to them, pet them, stroke them, kiss them, love them. Then she'd put them back into the cage and feed them this high-fat, high-sugar diet. The researchers couldn't understand it. But I'm going to tell you what it means to you. It means to you that if you and your spouse are going to go into a Wendy's or a McDonald's or a Burger King, and you're going to have a high-fat, high-sugar meal, what you have to do before you eat that meal, you have to stand up, and you got to hold one another, talk to one another, and pet one another, and feel one another. Feel one another. Hey, wait a minute. You got to stop that. They're going to throw you out of the restaurant. But if they do, you won't have that high-fat, high-sugar meal. So, I want to leave you with a little bit of philosophy from a great philosopher by the name of Vince Lombardi. And he said, this is what Vince Lombardi said. He said, if you are not fired with enthusiasm, you will be fired with enthusiasm. If you're not fired with enthusiasm, you will be fired with enthusiasm. So I want you to know that, and I want you to be very enthusiastic now, because I'm about to finish my speech. Mr. Chairman.